Have you ever really stopped to think about how our laws actually get made? It can seem pretty complicated, but at the very heart of it all is one institution, Parliament. So today, we're going to break it all down, what it is, who's inside, and how it really works. Let's dive in. So let's kick things off with the most fundamental question there is. When it comes to the rules that shape our entire nation, who actually holds the power to write them? And the answer, of course, is Parliament. That's the official name for the national lawmaking body. Its whole purpose is really threefold: to be the voice of the people, to safeguard the Constitution, and to pass the laws we all live by. But here's the thing you've got to understand. It's not just one big room full of people arguing. It's a bit more clever than that. That's because the system is bicameral. Now I know, that sounds a little formal, but all it means is that it's split into two parts, or two houses. And understanding this dual structure is the absolute key to figuring out how it all works. Yep, it's one system, but with two totally distinct parts. It's all designed for balance, with these two powerful chambers working together. So, what are they? Here they are. On one hand, you have the National Assembly. Think of them as the direct voice of the people. And on the other hand, there's the Senate. Their job is to be the voice of the counties. So right away, you see this amazing design. Two houses, representing the nation in two very different but equally important ways. Okay, so who are the actual people sitting in these two houses? Let's take a look inside and break down the exact makeup of both the National Assembly and the Senate. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. The National Assembly is the bigger of the two, by far. It's got 290 members elected directly from local constituencies, plus 47 women who are elected to represent each county. Now compare that to the Senate. It's much leaner, just 47 members, one elected from each county. Simple enough, but there are also nominated members. The Assembly nominates 12 people to represent special interests, while the Senate nominates 20, 16 women, and 4 more to represent the youth and people with disabilities. So you can see right away their focus is a little different. So because they're made up of different people, it makes sense that they have different jobs to do. Let's talk about their powers and responsibilities. It's really a tale of two mandates. The National Assembly is the heavyweight, handling the big national level stuff. This is their checklist. They enact national laws, they decide how that big national pot of money gets allocated, and they approve government spending. They're also like a watchdog, keeping an eye on how everything is being spent. And they hold some of the most serious powers in the land, like impeaching a president or even approving a declaration of war. That's some serious responsibility. The Senate, on the other hand, is laser-focused on the counties. That's its whole deal. Its main job is to represent and protect those regional governments. Any bill that affects the counties has to go through them. And this is absolutely crucial. While the Assembly carves up the national pie, the Senate decides how the slices are shared among the counties. They also get a say in impeachment, making sure the county's perspective is heard loud and clear. Okay, so we know who they are and what they do. But how does somebody actually get one of those seats? You might be wondering, what's the path to Parliament? Well, there are some pretty clear rules. First off, a term in Parliament is 5 years. And here's a key detail you might not know. There are no term limits. None. That means a person can be re-elected over and over again, for as long as their voters choose to send them back. But hold on, it's not a free-for-all. Not just anyone can run. You have to pass through a kind of disqualification filter. Think of it like a series of hurdles. For one, you've got to have been a citizen for at least 10 years. You can't already be a state or public officer. If you worked for the Election Commission, you have to wait 5 years. You also need a clean slate, no major legal or financial trouble. And this one is huge for accountability. If you've ever been found to have abused a public office, you're disqualified. Period. So we've looked at the people, the powers, and the rules. Now it's time to zoom out and ask the big question. Why is it set up this way? Why go to all this trouble? Why does this dual structure actually matter? It all comes down to one idea: balance. The whole point is to get a more complete, a more balanced form of representation. The National Assembly is there to hear the will of the people directly at the local level. But the Senate is there to protect the interests of the larger regions, the counties, as a whole. It's a system of checks and balances that's built right into the lawmaking process itself, designed to make sure power doesn't get concentrated in one place and every part of the country has a voice. And that brings us to our final thought. This whole system was meticulously designed to create a delicate balance between what the nation wants and what its regions need. But the big question we have to ask ourselves is,
Is it working? Is that balance really there? It's a simple question to ask, but a much, much harder one to answer. And it's definitely something worth thinking about.